Athletic yesterday. In it, he said he feels that, quote, Cooper Rush has saved the Cowboys season and should be positioned as a hero. He's been prepared, smart, on time. He has done very, very well and should be incredibly proud of his performance. So should the franchise, as it has clearly trained a guy to go in there and be virtually mistake-free and keep the team in a position to win. That's pretty high praise. Shannon, on a scale of 1 to 10, how amazing is what Cooper Rush has done in your eyes?
It's not amazing at all to me because Cooper Rush is not going out there winning these games. He's just making sure they don't lose them. The defenses are winning these games. He's not throwing for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. He has yet to throw for more than 235 yards in a game. He's only been sacked twice in the 3 games in which he's played. I know a lot of quarterbacks. If you're not going to sack them, but twice in a 3-game span, and they only have to throw for 235 or fewer yards in order to win, they can win a lot of that. Because now, you know that the likelihood of me having to get in a shootout, and I have to play great for not a few throws, not a quarter, that I've got to be on my P's and Q's for the entirety of the ball game is a different than just say, you know what, if I can make 2 or 3 throws, I can stay out of harm's way, we can win these games. Let's not get fooled, Skip, by him winning these games. Very favorable part of the schedule, and he's just keeping the car in the middle of the road. He's got the car. He ain't even put the car in 3rd gear yet. He got the car in 1st gear. He ain't accelerated. He ain't, he ain't done none of that.
You don't have any stick.
Yeah, I don't worry about it. I used to have a stick.
I got a stick shift. I do that.
All he got is the 1st gear. He ain't revved the engine or nothing.
Really?
Probably burned the clutch out if he had to get to it. He had to go to 3rd or 4th gear.
So you're a 1 on the amazing scale.
Yes. Winning, he's winning. And that's the only reason I gave him a 1, because he's winning, because I don't think he's been spectacular. He hasn't had to be.
Really?
I need someone to put him under the gun. I need someone to put him under that microscope, and let's see what he's made of.
Interesting. You know, I could make the case right here, right now, that Cooper Rush has played the best 4 first games of a career in the history of the National Football League.
Stop it.
Okay, help me out. Show me a better one.
Patrick Mahomes.
First 4 games.
The Denver game, and you do realize it's like he threw for 6 touchdowns and almost 400 yards against the Pittsburgh Steelers in his 3rd game. So stop it. Stop this. What is wrong with you? Pat Mason couldn't even make that case.
He had Andy Reid. He had Tyreek. He had Kelsey.
You said you didn't.
He had star power. He had green light.
He got CD. He got Ezekiel Elliott. He has Michael Gallup.
Does he have Ezekiel Elliott?
That's what you told me.
Would you believe right here, right now, this season, my Dallas Cowboys are averaging only 4.0 yards per rush. That ranks 25th in the National Football League. That's pathetic. That will get you beaten and beaten and beaten.
But it hasn't. Let that sink in for a second. Now, you tell me they're averaging 4 yards per rush, and it'll get you beaten and beaten and beaten, and they won their last 3 ball games.
Against
so clearly,
lowly Washington, they averaged 2.1 yards per rush.
Lowly.
2.1?
Lowly.
2.1 yards per rush. That will get you beaten. And probably would have, except Cooper Rush, in all 4 of his starts, has come up shockingly, but off the radar, clutch at the end of every game. Every single game, he's done something late, at least in the 4th quarter of all 4 games, that pulled the game out of the fire. Well, he did it against Joe Burrow, who's
No. What about walking to him? So now all of a sudden you walking to him any good? Because
you told me he was great. You told me he's Hall of Fame bound.
Don't tell me what I told you. I want to hear what Skip Bayless is.
Here's what I'm telling you. Would you believe that against Washington, my defense allowed 142 rush yards? So Cooper Rush has no rush to back him up on offense, while Cooper's defense is allowing rush right down their throats.
They're not allowing points. Points is what gets you beat.
We now rank 27th in the NFL in yards rushing allowed per play.
Where you rank?
27.
What about scoring defense? Where you ranking scoring defense?
We're good. We are bending, but we're not breaking so far. But how long does bend but don't break work in the National Football League? When does the dam break? How many fingers can you put in all the leaks until you run out of fingers and all of a sudden you get flooded?
Well, let's see when the dam does break and the levee overflows.
Yeah.
Let's see if Cooper Rush Let's see what Cooper
See if he
Rush.
grounds. He just might, because he's not getting backed up. Wait a minute. Is the defense just on a parade of takeaways? Are they propping up old Cooper by taking the ball? No, they've got 4 total in 4 games. That ranks 21st in the league.
But
21st?
Skip.
They led last year. They're number 1 for Dak last year.
Skip.
Number 1?
Even if you don't take the ball away, as long as you keep the opposing team out of the end zone or keep points off the board, you're going to probably win the game.
Would you believe that the Dallas Cowboys are tied with the Philadelphia Eagles for fewest giveaways in the whole league?
Yeah.
That goes on Cooper Rush's resume, because he's not yet thrown an interception in 3 starts this year.
Right.
He's not yet been fumbled 1 time.
Right. Skip, the man's only been sacked twice.
You know what? That means you're getting rid of the ball quickly and correctly. That's how you beat the sacks. I can't tell you how many times I'm like shell shocked, because it looks like he's got a free rusher right in his face, and he delivers right on time, right in the teeth of the fire, and hits somebody right in the hands for a first down. He's done it again and again and again. He's got a little bit of mobility, but he's got a whole lot of savvy. He knows where they're coming from, and he's getting the ball out at the right time to the right person.
The recipe for winning ball games: play bad teams and not turn the ball over.
Okay.
You're playing bad teams and you hadn't turned the ball over.
The Giants are 3-1 as we speak.
Giants making the playoffs. Say it right now.
That defense, the Hall of Famer told me defense is much improved.
Are they going to make the playoffs? Yes or no?
I hope not, because they're in my division, and I'm afraid we're going to have to be the wild card team, because it looks like Philly is about to run away and hide in the NFC East.
Well, they got something for y'all. They got something for y'all next week.
Well, they probably do. I do not disagree. Cooper Rush, to Bob Sturm's point, has saved the season. That's not an overstatement. He should be positioned as a hero, because he flat out saved it, because it's hard when you're 28 years of age to get thrown into the fire with the whole world saying Dallas is dead. And what I do love about Cooper Rush, no matter what he's done, come up clutch, Cooper clutch, all 4 times. The world is still sleeping on Cooper Rush because nobody has any respect for him. I keep hearing on national shows that he just held it down until
that's all he did.
Held it down.
Held it down.
He lifted it up.
He didn't lift nothing.
Lifted it up.
He did the same thing Brock Osweiler did when Peyton was out. The defense played outstanding. You should know this firsthand. It's kind of like the guy Tim Tebow winning the game 9-7.
Is it like Tim Tebow?
Yeah.
Are you saying that Cooper Rush isn't a better thrower than Tim Tebow?
I'm saying is that when you don't ask him to do a whole lot, he makes a few throws in the game. But when Detroit scored 35, or when New England scored all those points, he couldn't keep up. So I'm anxious to see when a team can score points, and your defense will have a bad day. I've never seen a defense, no matter how historically great they've been throughout the course of the year, not have a bad. 85 Bears remember when the 85 Bears, when they played Miami on that Monday night? And Dan Marino lit them up?
I won some money on that game.
So that day's going to come, and I'm going to see if Cooper Rush.
My defense got lit up by Washington, by walking to him. They got lit up. They got lit up.
They gave up 10 points.
But it's called bending. Don't break.
It's called score, which they didn't give.
It's called for whatever they were in the red zone. That's what it was.
Yes. Yep. And Skip, as long as you keep a team out of the end zone, that's all that matters. All that yardage doesn't mean anything.
Then I read the rest of Bob Stern's piece, and he said, well, the truth is they've been shocking people. They've been tricking people, because they've been play action throwing deep on first down when you don't expect Cooper Rush to do that. By the way, he throws a sweet deep ball. He's got plenty of arm. He just does. But I'm thinking against Washington, boy, all of his big throws, that there were 2 third-down throws to Michael Gallup in that drive that took the game back from 7-6 back in their favor. They were big third-down plays, and the throw to CeeDee for the 30-yard touchdown was a second-down play. So I just don't know. It seems like every time push comes to shove, Cooper Rush lifts them up instead of holding it down.
So how would you think Cooper Rush would fare against a defense like the Cowboys?
I don't know. How about the defense like the Rams? You love the Rams, Steve. You picked them to win the Super Bowl. They should embarrass and expose Cooper Rush.
Let me ask you a question.
You have told me he's going to get exposed as a fraud of an undrafted free agent.
Can I ask you a question? Am I the only one that's surprised that the Rams are playing as bad as they've been playing, both sides of the ball? No, they haven't been good.
Well, so but they're all there, right?
Yes.
Except for Von Miller.
Yes.
Right?
They're there.
Was he the difference maker? Did he make Aaron Donald a Super Bowl winner?
Well, what happened was is that you doubled Aaron Donald, Vaughn got one-on-one. Right now, no one else is consistently winning against one-on-one. Not Gaines, not Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd has 0 sacks, 3 hits in 4 games. That's not what you pay a guy $14, $15 million. Leonard Floyd has to be better.
Well, I'm afraid the Rams are going to get real healthy on my defense the way it's been playing. It is torchable.
What, the defense?
Yeah,
Your defense is torchable.
it is. They've just been hanging in and hanging on.
What you mean torchable? Skip, they give it up. They gave. Hold on, time out. Maybe I need to. They've given up 20 in Cooper Rush's starts. They gave up 16 points.
We
gave up
went over
17,
that.
16,
I told you
10.
they're bending, but
Skip,
not breaking.
16 points is not bending. 10 points is not bending. 30 points is
No,
bending.
they're not breaking. That's what it is. It's not breaking.
Skip, do you realize these numbers? If you give up what they're giving up, 14 points, you're going to be top 5 in scoring defense every year?
27th in rush yards allowed? 27th? How are you doing that? How are you holding teams that low when you're near the bottom in rush yards allowed?
Last team to run their way to the Super Bowl. Do you win Super Bowls with running the football now?
Rams might get real healthy running the football. Watch what McVay does. He's going to run it down the throats.
He's going to have to call the game of his life.
Okay. Well, he's a boy genius. Maybe he'll be running up the tunnel.
There you go. You never forgave him for running up and down the.
I won't.
And he got you again. He went to your place. You went, we'll see you again.
Yeah.
We'll see. He said, yeah, we'll put pussy in you again.
Well, he did because of a defensive breakdown. Didn't have anything to do with Tom Brady.
It did have something to do with Tom
Maybe
Brady.
they should start Brady at safety. I don't know.
Brady got to have his own issues at quarterback. Let's play
Are
one position
you
at a time.
reverse jinxing this morning?
Yes, he
I
tried.
don't put it past
he think
you
he's slick.
at all.
He think he's slick. Oh, they gonna get healthy on us. We're bending but not breaking.
I'm just telling you, I got the numbers to back it
We'll
up.
find out. All right, guys, moving on. Up next, game on the line.